Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to explain episode 1 and 2 of the series Breakout Kings released in the year 2011. The episode opens up with a prisoner August Tillman practicing to hold himself under bed. Moments later he can be seen working in a warehouse where he breaks a number plate on purpose and dumps it in a dustbin, declaring that it's been damaged. Here it's shown that he already collected many number plates in the dustbin, performing the same trick. One day he walks out of the building to dispose of the damaged number plates from the warehouse with a beautiful girl distracting the guards. He manages to hide under a police bus with the help of the number plates collected together to hold himself. Luckily the guards don't spot him and let the bus exit the building. Moments later Tillman comes out of his hiding spot and attacks the driver as well as a lady sitting on the passenger seat. The scene then shifts to Ray Canelli, a former U.S. Marshal who lost his job after he was convicted of stealing money from a crime scene. Current Deputy U.S. Marshal Charlie Duchamp approaches him outside a halfway house and asks his help in his new mission of getting Tillman back in prison. Later at the police station, Charlie proposes reselect his candidates from a given list of prisoners and come up with some escape artists. They're doing so because they want to get real escape artists to solve the case and find Tillman. In the following scene we're introduced for escape artists from all around U.S. prisons: a fighter, Gunderson, a former weapon trafficker, She Daniels, a bounty hunter and expert tracker, Philomena Aka Philly, and a former child prodigy, and behaviorist Dr. Lloyd Lowery. Ray and Charlie gathered them at a place and inform them about the mission. Charlie tells them that if they help them catch Tillman they will be transferred to a minimum security prison and also will get their sentences reduced. Hearing this, the escape artists become excited and immediately accept the offer. Following this, Charlie briefs the group about their mission and promises to provide them each with a mobile phone while on duty. In the meantime, Julian Sims, a research analyst for the mission, arrives there and informs Charlie that one of Tillman's childhood friends, John Phelps, has been found beaten to death. Immediately the team heads toward the crime location and gets to work. As Lloyd is a behaviorist, he examines the surroundings and tells the officers that Tillman is trying to confuse them by writing the name of a Mexican city on the fridge. Here we're shown a mobile phone hidden underneath the table, with the help of which Tillman is listening to the officers' conversation. In the following scene, Sims calls Ray and informs him about a bank robbery that happened a year ago before Tillman got arrested. Soon she starts collecting other information about the case while the team is having lunch in a restaurant. In the meantime, Charlie finds Gunderson hiding a knife down his socks and handcuffs him before leaving to find another friend of Tillman, Jimbo. On the other hand, we can see Tillman already inside Jimbo his house, torturing him to reveal about the money they robbed a year ago. When Jimbo refuses to answer, he's struck by a hammer and killed. Moments later the officers arrive there and find Jimbo dead on a chair. Ray also spots a mobile phone underneath the table and threatens Tillman that he will soon be captured. Later the cops visit the house of the cashier, Carmen Menhover, who was working in the Shirley Bank when the robbery took place. Sensing danger, Carmen's boyfriend tries to distract the officers with his words while Carmen drives away from the house. Luckily, Charlie asks Jay to follow her and he successfully stopped her on the way. During the interrogation, when Carmen Denise helping Tillman rob the bank, Void talks to her and with his expertise he concludes that she is not guilty. Right then Erica and Sims find out that the teller Kyle Taro is the actual person involved in the robbery. She also informs that Kyle left the job after a week and has been out of contact since then. Elsewhere, Tillman can be seen at Kyle's house threatening his wife and daughter. Next we see the whole team waiting for a movement from Kyle but fail to find any. In the meantime, Philly suggests the officers take her shopping and she will help them deal with Kyle's brother Frank, who's helping Kyle manage his money. Moments later, Philly and Lloyd disguised as a couple enter Frank's bar, where Philly continuously stares at Frank in an attempt to seduce him. After the bar is closed, Frank takes her to a room and Philly starts stripping for him. When Frank gets distracted, she manages to steal his cell phone and walks out of the room saying that she'll be right back. Outside, she starts searching for Kyle's number on his phone, but just then Frank comes out of the room and catches Philly in the act. He grabs her by the throat, threatening to reveal her real identity. While this is going on, Lloyd somehow manages to send a text message to Charlie informing him about the situation. In no time, Charlie, Ray and she enter the bar and capture Frank. During the capture, Ray fires a bullet to threaten Frank. As a result, Charlie gets angry and yells at Ray to follow his orders as he is the head of the task. In the following scene, after getting Kyle's address from Frank, the team reaches Kyle's home where they find his wife tied to a chair. Charlie unties her and she reveals that Tillman has taken her daughter and Kyle with him. Later she also provides Charlie with Kyle's facial features to help him find a photo of him. Here they get to know that a beautiful girl named Amy Flynn has been assisting Tillman the entire time. After finding that Tillman is driving towards Canada with Amy, suggests they reach the border before them and capture Tillman. Later the whole team can be seen at the Canadian border, where Amy and Tillman stop to fill their car at a gas station. Philly and she follow them and succeed in getting Tillman out of the car after cursing at Amy. When Shades rise to get Kyle's daughter out of the car, he finds that she has been fitted to her body, and its control is in Tillman's cell phone. Ree tries to approach Tillman and threatens to shoot him, but Shirley arrives there and stops Ree from doing so while Tillman is belittling Ray and trying to escape. Charlie shoots him right on the shoulder. In the last scene of the episode, Lloyd can be seen talking with his daughter inside a minimum security prison. Philly is using a compete router and checking her bank balance, and she is looking at his girlfriend's photo and counting the days to get out of the prison. The episode ends with Ray explaining to Charlie that he stole the money from the crime scene to buy a car for his daughter. The second episode opens up in Clayton Penitentiary, where the whole prison facility is preparing for the execution of a mass murderer, Xavier Price, happening in a few days before his execution. Xavier collects some tools like a bedsheet and a box of paper clips on his day of execution while the prison facility is double-checking the electricity around the building. Xavier manages to use the paper clips to create a spark and light his prison cell on fire. He also intentionally burns his hand and cries for help. When he's taken to the prison hospital, he attacks the doctor and escapes from a small opening inside the place. With the help of the bedsheet, Xavier prepares a banner disguising himself as a protester and reaches outside the prison through an underground tunnel. Outside, when a female protester recognizes him as Xavier, depends her down and escapes with her car. The scene then shifts to the police station, where Lloyd and she are brought back from prison to search for Xavier. Here they get to know that Philly stole some money using a prison computer and is sent back to her previous prison, her sentence doubled. They also notice that replacement for Philly, Erica Reed, and wonder about what special ability she possesses. Charlie makes Eric has signed the contract papers and includes her in their team. Soon the team is briefed about Xavier and his crimes, including how he escaped from the prison. However, the information is still inconclusive, so Erica suggests they talk with Xavier, his wife, to know more about him. Elsewhere, Xavier goes to one of his houses and burns it down. In the next scene, the whole team reaches to meet Xavier's wife, who tells them that her husband is a nice man. Right then, Sims calls Ray and informs him about a house under Xavier's name that he bought about a year ago in an auction. Moments later, when the team reaches the house, they're shocked to find it burnt down to ashes. However, the forensics team still manages to retrieve a box of melted plastic. The scene then shifts to Xavier digging the ground with a young girl sitting beside him. The girl pleads with him to let her go, but Xavier is so cruel that he grabs her by the hair and breaks her neck, killing her. Following this, the team reaches a shop where the owner mentions that Xavier attacked him after changing the price tag of an axe. Erica suggests that Xavier is buying the tool to break into something rather than to kill someone straight away. At the same time, Sims calls Ray and tells him about a property that Xavier recently bought around a silent area. Rayon and Charlie immediately head to the location and find a girl trapped inside the basement of the house. They try their best to interrogate the girl, but she refuses to provide them with any answers. Suddenly, before the officers leave, the girl speaks up and informs Erica that there are more girls like her trapped by Xavier. Back at the office, the team collects information and finds out the dead bodies of the other two girls, among which one of them was burnt to death and the other was buried. They come up with the conclusion that Xavier likes to torture girls and have key control over them. Lloyd then uses his skills to find out that Xavier was tortured in his childhood by his prostitute mother. She also frequently left him in shelter homes, and because of this he hates prostitutes and likes to torture them to death. After the revelation, Charlie asks him to provide them with the details of the women who went miss Xavier's house since last year. After some time, Sims provides Charlie with the list of women missing for the last 6 months. Seeing this, Lloyd mentions that Xavier is holding something personal from the girls he tortured to keep himself occupied until he finds another. He suggests they get a search warrant and perform a searching operation inside Xavier's home. Later, Charlie and Lloyd arrive at Xavier's home and start searching around, despite his wife refusing them from doing so. After a while, Lloyd takes a closer look at Xavier's art collections and finds a broken molar tooth of a woman. Next, they find a woman's fingernail and also a single strand of hair. Grace suggests they run a DNA test on the hair to find the location of the missing third girl. In the next scene, while the team is trying to find the third girl, they get a video message from the forensics which includes Xavier torturing a woman. Because the video is so dark, officers are unable to recognize the woman. In the meantime, Ree hears a train in the video's background and concludes that the building where Xavier is holding the girl is near a train track. Sims then does some research and comes up with a list of 8 houses around the train tracks near 8 years' properties. Meanwhile, when Lloyd approaches Erica and inquires if she lost her child recently, she gets enraged and starts punching him because she committed violence during the work. Charlie handcuffs her in the office and sets out to inspect the buildings without her. In the following scene, Charlie and Ree check each of the buildings but are unable to find any girl inside. Hearing Sims and we talk about this, Erica realizes that Ray and Charlie are in the wrong town. 1. She then reveals that the sound we heard in the video's background is not of a train but of an industrial whistle from a refinery. And Sloan. With this, Sims narrows down her search and identifies the girl who has gone missing. From Sloan, Andrea. Following the information from America, the team arrives at the house where Xavier is torturing Andrea. While Xavier sets fire to the house and is about to take Andrea out, Ray and Charlie confront him, causing him to rush back into the house. He leaves Andrea on the floor and runs upstairs into the burning house. Charlie gets Andrea out of the house while Ray follows Xavier. Finally, with no way out, Xavier is forced to jump out of the window trying to get away. Fortunately, she who's waiting outside catches him and punches him in the face. After Xavier is caught, Charlie visits him and assures him that he will live the rest of his life in solitary prison, experiencing the tortures that he inflicted on innocent girls. In the last scene of the episode, Charlie explains to Rhea about Erica's past and how she tracked down the murders of her father and killed them without getting caught. After knowing everything about Erica, revisits her and suggests control her anchor if she wants to be on the team and reduce your sentence. The episode ends with Erica Green Tea comply with the team and work with full control over her anger. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.